Well, we guarded and rebounded very well. We kind of had a loss last week, and I was happy that it happened because it was a wake-up call.
Seneca?
Yes, we had some good games where we've beaten some good teams, and then we get a little ahead of ourselves, and we need to be brought back down to reality. And that was a good game, and we didn't have neither one of our bigs that game either, and it was so big, and they killed us on the board. So tonight, it was key. We knew they were going to make a couple threes here and there. Switching defenses up, we were trying to confuse them a little bit, but they're so big. But if you can keep them off the boards, you got a chance of winning. And I don't think one team I think we held them to 50-something points. There's not too many teams that do that, and we told them before the game, if you can get it between 50 and 60, we've got a chance to win. So we did a great job of that, and I'm so proud of them. Great energy.
Yeah, just talk about that final sequence. James came up big with the putback and the old-fashioned three-point play. He just seemed to play with a little more emotion in those final minutes. But talk about that play at the end and his aggressiveness on the baseline.
Well, before the season, I told him, I was like, you want to have a big year, you got to lose some weight. He got on the track. He paid his dues. He lost about 15, 20 pounds. Now the game comes easier to him. Now he can rebound. Now the game is quicker to him, and there at the end, we knew we was going to get something at the rim, and I told them, they're not going to box you out. They're going to out-jump you. So you've got to crash hard. And when you do, you got to go and get it. Because I said, you got to play it like it's your last, and they did. I'm so proud of them. But we wanted, there at the end, we was trying to get something at the rim, something with a ball screen situation, because they switch everything. So we wanted to get a mismatch with the big and little, or Jalen with a mismatch, but they went to the rack hard like I want them to, crashed like I want them to. I'm so proud of them. They did a great job.
What about Jalen's performance tonight? He had some spectacular shots, and everything seemed to be going in for him.
He is one of the most underrated guards, not just in the county, but in the state, I think. He works every day. He's a gym rat. Him and his brother are gym rats, Jamon also. And, I tell him, hard work pays off. We lost a lot off last year's team. Had a great year last year. Didn't end the way we wanted to. But last year's group worked hard. And, I've been trying to install that into them. When you work hard, you're going to get bounces your way. And you can tell there at the end, you're not going to win a region if you don't get a little bit of luck. And we got a little bit there at the end. So I'm very proud of them.
Going into district play, just speak on your chances in district. You're easily going in as the favorite. And then looking into region play maybe a little bit?
Well, nothing's, I tell them, 21-7 is a great year. People at the beginning of the year had us ranked 10th in the region. I was glad because that was motivation. We knew we were, a little bit higher than that, but I printed all those out. I blew them up. I put them all through the locker room. And I said, you've got some doubters. I said, we only lost one game last year in the region, and it needs to stay that way throughout the whole season. And they done it, and it was motivation from the beginning of the year, and it's just carried on. And nothing comes easy not unless you work hard. And we had a great practice yesterday. Wednesday we had a great practice. We had some that almost got into a scuffle, but that's good sometimes because you get a lot out of that. You get people playing hard, and that's what happens. But in the game, I try to tell them I have to make practice so hard that the game becomes easy. I said, you're going to hate me in practice, but when the game comes, it's going to come easy. And, I preach that to them, and hard work gets you lucky bounces. And, district play, anything can happen. I'm going to tell them next week 21-7 regular season is great, but right now our record is 0-0. We got a good Bullitt Central team on Tuesday, and then North Bullitt and Southern's there at the top. And, we got to take care of business because if you win your district, you get a loser of another one. So it's vitally very important.
Lamontre Harris, he was kind of quiet tonight. Can you speak on a little bit about what you guys do to keep him?
Well, I've scouted him about 4 or 5 times, and I've seen him here and there, and, he is a beast on the boards, and he's a big body. And I told him before the game, you have got to find him, and you've got to get low. Because I said he's going to move you out of the way. I would love to have him. He plays, he's my type of player. He's a blue-collar type player where he just plays hard all the time. Big body, runs the floor, does all the little stuff, too, to make his team better. And, we knew that he was going to get a couple offensive rebounds just because of the fact that we're still one person short with a turned ankle. And when we get him back, we'll be back at full strength. We'll get him back on Tuesday. But we had to keep him off the boards because, he gets a ton of points within all second chance opportunities, and then we did a great job. I think they had 9 in the first half, which I was mad about that. I wanted to keep them at 5, but as the game went on, we did a way better job of keeping them off it because they're so big. They're a great team. They're well coached also.